Is that how we met?
That is absolutely how we met. Tell me why I still have a Facebook message.
No way.
I do. I still have a Facebook message.
All right, so now I'm gonna have to go back and find it too.
Yep, I met you on Facebook and it was life-changing. I think between you and Avna, I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you, friend. Well, so thank you for saying that, because, you know, I get emails all the time, people like, you know, can I assist? Can I this? Can I that? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, but I may not have anything for you at this moment. And yeah, but, you know, now's not the right time. So really, you know, not to say, you know, email someone daily or email them weekly, but, you know, check in, because I'll tell you that sometimes I just go back to the most recent email of someone.
That's what I do.
Yeah, exactly. I just go back to the most recent email and I'm like, okay, great. They're in this particular area and I need someone and let's make it happen. So,
and that's exactly how it works.
Yeah. Ah,
yeah.
So, I know, I distinctly, so my memory, by the way, you know, I'm a lady of a certain age, so my memory is shot. Shot. So, when we met, were you still in Atlanta? Were you in New York? And then how was the help?
I was still in Atlanta.
Okay. So what was the assistance, what was the reach out that I was able to do for you that helped you do your next thing? Because truly, I don't remember it, and so I need to even run a refresher.
So you were in the beginning stages of creating your agency.
Okay, I do remember that. Yeah,
and I was on that board.
Yeah. Yes. Which, okay, so most people don't know. So what ends up happening, and so I know this is your interview, Devash, but I have to put that in context. me doing an agency. I've been with an agent or with agencies for about 15 years on their boards as hairstylists. So what ended up happening was I moved out of New York to the Midwest. That's where my husband's from. That's where I think at that time I might have been joining Aveda. And so I was living in the Midwest, and it just wasn't as easy for me to do jobs, period. It just wasn't. And so I've always been about, you know, hey, I can't do it. Let me find someone else who is capable. You know, I'm not the person that feels like I need to hoard everything. I don't need to do everything.
Yeah. And I don't either.
Yeah, and I don't want to do everything, right? So, but I want to make sure that everyone that I work with is fully taken care of. So with that, I was building a large group of, at that time of, and I don't even want to say assistants because you weren't assisting me, just a large group of really great hairstylists that I could recommend out. And so that's kind of what I was doing initially. I was just like recommending out, and my husband's like, hey, you're really kind of like, you know, you're really kind of acting like an agent. Why don't you go ahead and, you know, like maybe benefit from it? Or, you know, I'm just like, I guess I can. So at that point, that's when I did an agency. At the time, I think it was called Halo. Was it Halo? I don't remember. What, was it Lux? Okay.
It was Lux. I remember the day. I still have the emails, Tippi.
Right. So Lux, yes. So started an agency, and I think you were the first hairstylist that we brought on. And I remember, did you end up doing that film with actress Naomi?
Yes, you sent me to Naomi Harris.
Yeah. So
for the film with 50 Cent.
Yeah.
No,
go ahead.
Okay, so you sent me to that. You sent me to Sierra.
The singer Sierra?
The singer Sierra.
Also good. Yes. You was getting work, right?
Yes, I was getting work. And then you sent me to my love, Wanda Sykes.
Yes. Awesome. That is so good. So so when I had an agency, guys, we were getting gigs.
We were working.
Let me find out. I might have to like that back up from the ashes.
That's why, like, let me find out.
Well, the reality is I don't know why it ended, because the partnership that I had with the person that I did it just fizzled terribly. And I knew for me what I was doing with Aveda at the time, I just didn't have time personally to manage it. So it just wasn't really realistic for me. And I know that I just didn't want to be responsible for trying to help build people's careers when I knew I couldn't put all my attention to it. But then I know that you went on and got represented by like a major agent. I mean, you're still being represented by like major agencies. So you moved on and it amazingly. So that's awesome. That's really
That's why I said I'm eternally grateful, because I didn't really know or even have the type of access to even get on this side of things. And you opened up that opportunity for me, and you have no idea how grateful I am.
Thank you, friend. I truly appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. All right. So now that you are in the groove and you're working with celebrity, at this point, are you living in New York?
I am.
Okay. And so you're living in New York, you're doing freelance work, you're working with celebrities. Are you doing salon work at this time, or is it solely freelance?
It's solely freelance.
So now you're living in New York. When I say now, I mean then at that time, living in New York.
Right. So now I'm living in New York, and I'm starting to pick up, more freelance work, and starting to travel a little bit. Trying to get my feet wet. So now fast forward, we're in 2020, and I've pretty much traveled to every continent except Antarctica.
Yeah. I say that too. My daughter's like, have you been to Antarctica? I was like, all right, maybe not every continent.
Maybe not Antarctica, but I've pretty much traveled to all the rest of the continents.
Yeah. You're seeing beautiful places, getting opportunity to travel, work, doing what you love, seeing places you maybe never thought you'd ever see.
And king shows for Paris Fashion Week. Like, what Black girl gets to do that?
That's amazing, Nevasha. Yeah, so I know that was it the show in London or the show in Paris that Mazzani sponsored you with?
Paris.
That was in Paris. Okay.
That was in Paris.
So for people who want to know, like, how do you obtain, like, how does something like that work? How do you go from the beautiful Black girl in Memphis, Tennessee to King Paris Fashion Week hair shows? How does that go?
To be honest with you, it's really about relationships and consistency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You've been really good about that. That is super important. Yeah.
Thank you.
About you.
Consistency is so key. Consistency, punctuality, and relationships are very important. I always warn people to not burn bridges, to not burn bridges, and to always be kind and to always be grateful. If you don't have those three components, you can forget it.
Exactly.
It's going to end for you like really, really quickly.
Right. Yeah. And let me say that, I've met, and I'm sure that you have too, in my years of doing freelance work, you meet people who are doing the same things that we're doing, and somehow their relatability, they lose it. And sometimes they think that they are the actual celebrity that we're working on.
They do.
Right? So the relationships with the people that are doing the same things that they're doing tend to weaken because of this, this mental space they become in, right? So,
and it's really, that mental space is really called ego.
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to be PC that. Keep an ego in check. It's, you know what though, I talk about that. I talk about how it's super easy when you are traveling, first class or in private planes, you're staying 5-star hotels, you're making really great money. It's really easy to lose yourself.
It's so easy.
So being grounded, staying humble, understanding, you were here, you're providing a service, you're excelling in your craft.
And that is the part right there, that component, that you are there to provide a service. It's not your show.
Right.
It's not your show. You're there to provide a service. Just like the nail person, just like the makeup person, just like the crafty service, just like all of those other people that play a part in making that experience wonderful. You are there to provide a service for talent. You're not talent.
Exactly. I mean, well, we're talented, right? But
we're talented, but we're not.
We're not the one footing the bill. We're not the one paying for the ride. Right?
We're not the headliner here.
Yeah, exactly. So with that, humility goes a long way. And I'll say, Nevasha, you are totally at the top of your game, and humility level on you is sky high. So that's really great. I know you'll stay. I was gonna say please stay that way, but I know that you will, friend.
I have 5 little people who boss me around, so I have no choice but to stay humble.
That is awesome. Prior to us being quarantined, like what projects did you have on the horizon? Like what, and when we are able to get back into things, what can we look forward to? I know that you just started a relationship with a